Back will be Dylan Hours, and the slot back will be Cannon Dinger, 5'10", 160-pound junior. Dinger was one of the leading receivers for the Polar Bears last season, and he is just a junior. He was one of those players that had a nose for the ball last year. We've had the coin toss, and the Polar Bears are going to get the football first. And Fairmont will be starting out at the goal to our right, and we're on natural grass here at Lewis County. So this is one of the few, maybe the only time this season that the Polar Bears will play on a natural grass surface. The Polar Bears actually are going to return the kick from left to right. Lewis County is wearing their camouflage uniforms, and it really camouflages the numbers. So last time we were here, they had those royal blue with the silver numbers, and it was really hard to pick them out. So they found a different way to make it difficult to read the numbers tonight. They have camouflage with black numbers and gold trim. Polar Bears in the traditional blue pants, white jerseys, white helmets. A couple number changes for those of you who maybe had a Polar Bear roster. There are some new jerseys that haven't come in. So a couple of players, actually 3, are wearing different uniform numbers. Logan Canfield will be number 3. Taryn Boda will be number 30. And Chris Wilson will be number 28. Adam Oldacre kicking off, and this game is underway. End-over-end kick, and it backs up Hours to the 9-yard line. He takes it to the left and gets to the 10. Heads to the sidelines at the 15, down to the center of the field at the 20, up to the 25, the 30, and is hit there, and he's going to be brought down as he struggles up close to the 34-yard line. Dylan Hours on the kickoff return, and the Polar Bear offense comes out onto the field, and we'll get a chance to take a look at the junior quarterback Brody Whitehair. He's the one player I left out in giving you the starters. 6'1", 186, a junior. And coming into this game for the Polar Bears, he's in his career thrown for over 2,000 yards. He will, if everything goes right in his career, be one of the top 5 all-time passing quarterbacks in Fairmont senior history. Polar Bears start out now with single running back. And back to pass is Whitehair going down along the sidelines, and the pass is overthrown. Gavin Michael can't come up with it at about the 25-yard line on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I'd like to play call him first down. Sent 4 vertical routes on that play, and Michael just almost had it there.
Canfield into the game. He'll be a receiver to the right side along with Dinger and Jones. Quarterback Whitehair is in the pistol formation. From the 34-yard line, it's 2nd down and 10. Long count at the line of scrimmage. He looks to the sidelines now, getting the play call. 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Polar Bears. This game just underway, second play of the game, and back the pass. He sends it to the near side at about the 47, and it'll be a 13-yard pass play and a Polar Bear first down.
Nice protection by the Fairmont senior offensive line. Hit Dinger in stride that time.
Cannon showed last season that if you put the ball near him, he's going to pull it in, and that's what happened there. In the backfield now for the Polar Bears is Damani Johnson behind Whitehair, and Damani gets a handoff, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and has nowhere to go. Making the tackle was Tyler Carson, a senior at 6'2", 225 for Johnson. He is a junior. And he is 5'10", 171. He gets the first carry for the Polar Bears. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. And here is Whitehair. There was maybe just a little bit of a false start on the Polar Bear side that time. Referee making the call. And it is false start against the Polar Bears. First penalty of the night. That is going to take the football back to the 42-yard line on the near hash marks as Fairmont moves from left to right. No score in this game, just underway, 10:52 on the clock. Hours lines up at the tailback spot behind quarterback Whitehair. who's in the pistol formation. Bracero up close to the line as a blocking back. Whitehair fakes it to Hours. He's keeping it now. Cuts it to the outside. There's a flag down as he takes it to the 50, the 45, and run out of bounds at the 40, and that's going to be most likely a holding penalty coming up against the Polar Bears on the far side of the field.
Forced out of bounds by number 15, Drew Caton. There's a flag on play.
Holding is the call against the Polar Bears. It goes from the spot of the foul. That should take the ball back to about the 35. Now they put it down at about the 34-yard line.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
So now it's going to be second down and long for the Polar Bears. Polar Bears have to get it to the 43 in Lewis territory. Whitehair back to pass. Down the sidelines for Dinger. He reaches up and he's got it. And the Polar Bears have a first down at the 28-yard line in Lewis County territory.
Yeah, great protection and really good throw by Whitehair that time.
39-yard pass play for a first down, and Cannon Dinger gets his second catch of the night. And the Polar Bears have their second first down now in business at the 28-yard line in Lewis territory. First down and 10, and Whitehair back to pass again. Looking, fires to the far side. The pass is caught by Hours along the sidelines, then bumped out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Pass completed with number 5, Dylan Orrs. Brought down by number 15, Drew Caton.
They're going to move it back to about the 12. They say he stepped out at the 12-yard line. So that's a 17-yard pass play. Polar Bear first down, but it won't be first and goal. It is going to be first down and 10 with the football at the 12. Two running backs and the handoff. This time goes to Hours up the middle, and Dillon takes it down close to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they're really loading the box. It's making it really hard to run inside right now, playing the one safety and loading the box up. So look for us to maybe try to go outside here a little bit.
A 2-yard gain. And it's going to be second down and 8 for the Polar Bears now. Ball at the 10-yard line. Johnson in the backfield. Whitehair to pass into the end zone. The pass is overthrown in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Hours in the end zone, but he had already run out of space, and the pass flew over his head. So it's going to be third down. 8 yards to go from the Lewis 10. Whitehair now 3 for 5 passing. And the Polar Bears looking for a first down play here with the ball at the Minutemen 10-yard line. Whitehair, again, back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, now running with it. He gets it to the 10. He's at the 5, down inside the 5-yard line, and he's going to be close to a Polar Bear first down. And it looks like he's got it close to the goal line, and it is first and goal for Fairmont at the Lewis 1-yard line.
Caught him in man coverage right there, and that can really hurt a defense when you have a mobile quarterback like Whitehair, and he made a good decision on that play.
So it'll be first down and goal to go for the Polar Bears now. Moving from left to right, 8:48 turning clock, first quarter, and the Polar Bears threatening on their first possession. Quarterback Whitehair has Hours behind him. Takes the snap, gives it to Dillon up the middle. Hours takes it into the end zone. Hits up, Polar Bear touchdown. Hours on a 1-yard run, and Fairmont Senior strikes first and leads it 6-0.
Got a nice block from Bracero on that play.
Max Bracero, a junior, getting time in the backfield. That's pretty much a blocking back, 5'7", 197-pound junior. Now Cam Peschel, a soccer player who is the Polar Bears' extra point kicker, will attempt to kick from left to right. Peschel, a junior, holding is Logan Canfield. Ball down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And there's timeout on the field with 8:35 to go, first quarter. The score, Fairmont 7, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Throw for 79 yards, but the Polar Bears score on a 1-yard run. And Fairmont has a 7-0 lead. Gavin Micah will be the Polar Bears kicker, and he approaches the ball from left to right, and he sends it downfield end over end, and it is caught at the 9-yard line. Taken up over the 10, up to the 15, and to the 20, and that is going to be all. Grant Akert on the kickoff return. Canfield in on the tackle for the Polar Bears, along with Taryn Boda. So Lewis has the football now in its own territory. They mark it down right at about the 21-yard line. As the Minutemen go from right to left, they like to operate out of the wing tee, but they have an experienced quarterback in Bryant Solinsky, so they're not as afraid to spread it out and put it in the air some as well. And that's exactly how they start out, as they spread out the formation. And Zielinski is up under center. And there's a fumble on the snap, and Zielinski has to fall on top of the ball right at about the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. You're in a game like this, and you know you want to do everything you can to get a first down, and on the first play you fumble, and now you're looking at a 2nd and 10. That's a tough situation.
Yeah, that's tough to be put in that situation this early on. You don't want to be there.
Now they come back to their traditional formation. Wingback goes in motion, and the quarterback Zielinski wants to pass. He's getting pressure, and he is sacked as he goes down, and he is sacked by Arbogast, and the Polar Bears have stopped the quarterback inside the 15-yard line at the 13.
Yeah, that's the thing with play action, especially under center. It takes a little more time to develop, and they did not get that play off that time.
That's an 8-yard loss, so now it's 3rd down and 18 for the Minutemen. Lewis sends a wide out to the near side. That's Liam Jeffries, wing back to the left, and this time there is the deep handoff, and it comes to Drew Caton. Caton takes that out over the 20 to about the 25-yard line. It's a nice gain. The problem was he needed too much, and he couldn't get it on that run. It's out of bounds at the 25, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 for Lewis County.
Yeah, pretty well blocked play that time with the sweep.
So 4th down and 6. So he ends up getting 12 yards on that carry, but still a long way to go. And a punting situation. And the punter is Oldacre. Dinger and Hours are back side by side at the 43-yard line. Oldacre punts it down the center of the field. It hits and picked up on the hop at the 40-yard line by Hours with a full head of steam. He gets it inside the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35. He's at the 30, still running at the 20. He's down to the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's into the end zone. It's a Polar Bear touchdown. It's a 60-yard punt return for Dylan Hours. And the Polar Bears score again and lead it 13-0.
Special teams plays are demoralizing for another team. That is a huge play at this moment in the game.
And that was sometimes when you see a punt development, you can think, okay, here comes a big return. You didn't think that when you saw Dylan catch that one on the bounce back at the 40, but you've seen Dylan make plays out of nothing before, and he did a really nice job of getting that one to the sidelines. And then when he cut it back to the center of the field, there were just white jerseys alongside him. Here's Special, ready to attempt another extra point. Canfield has the ball down. The kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 6:13 to go, 2nd quarter. It's Fairmont 14, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Dylan Hours with a couple touchdowns. The Polar Bears have a 14-0 lead. Fairmont has scored on the ground and on special teams. And now Michael is going to kick off again for Fairmont. Grant Akerd back deep along with Drew Caton. And here is Michael's kick. End over end, and Akerd comes up and gets it at the 13. He gets to the 20 and then is hit at the 26-yard line, and he's going down there.
Number 1, Grant Akerd on the return.
Like the coverage so far on our special teams with both kickoffs so far.
Tristan Wills in on the stop for the Polar Bears. He's one of the new guys, 5'6", 125-pound junior. And Lewis now goes first down and 10. The officials set the ball down at the 26-yard line. Arbogast, Cockini, and Bigelow along the front line. Boda and Abrazino outside linebackers. Wing T formation. Handoff goes to Carter, the fullback, and he is hit and he goes down. He was hit first by Bigelow, and there's a late flag. And this one might be going against Lewis. Michael in on the stop as well. Dead ball, personal foul called against Lewis County. So it's after the play.
Personal foul against the Minutemen.
It was a gain to the 29, and that gain will count. 3-yard pickup for Braden Carter. Then you're going to assess half the distance to the goal line after that.
And we say it all the time, when we get in these downs and distances, Coach Bardick is really creative with a blitz package, so this is where it becomes really difficult to be a quarterback in this situation.
Penalty, second down, Lewis County.
So now it's going to be second down and long for the Minutemen with the ball back at the 14-yard line, and quarterback Zelensky on a counter play, and this time it comes to Caton. Caton gets to the outside, and he gets good yardage. He takes it out over the 20 up to about the 23-yard line, maybe the 24. He's going to get about 10 yards on the play, and it'll be third down and 12. Caton's carried twice for 22 yards. He has a 12-yard gain and a 10-yard gain, but he hasn't picked up a first down for the Minutemen yet because each time he's carried the ball, it's been long yardage situation. Now it's third down and 12. The ball at the 24. First quarter, about halfway gone. Bears lead 14-0. Grant Akerd gets the handoff off the right side, and he is sent to the turf by Gavin Michael at the 30. And now another flag is thrown after the play. Which was a 6-yard gain. Another dead ball foul, personal foul, this time against the Polar Bears.
Personal foul against Fairmont. $15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Akerd gets 4. That's not enough for the first down, but the penalty yardage will be. And it'll take the ball up to the 44. And Fairmont gets its second penalty of the night. First major one. And the Minutemen have their first down. The ball at the Lewis 44-yard line in the center of the field, moving from right to left, trailing the Polar Bears 14-0. Drew Caton comes in motion, and there's Carter with a handoff up the middle, and he runs over a tackler, takes it inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Nice run by their fullback, Carter, and it's a Lewis first down.
Yeah, they ran the quick trap. They caught us going up the field a little bit that time.
That's a 21-yard gain for Braden Carter. He ran that one like a true fullback as he ran over a couple of would-be tacklers. And Lewis has its second first down and has the ball in Polar Bear territory at the 35. Down to 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. Carter Lines up behind the quarterback, wing back. Caton comes in motion, and Caton gets the hand. He takes the football inside the 35 and then is brought down easily there. Another flag on the play. Holding is the call against Lewis County. 10-yard penalty from the 35. It'll take it back to the 45-yard line, and Lewis has its second major penalty of the night.
It was a nice job by Bigelow on that play, staying at home when the motion went away or when flow went away from him. He stayed home.
So now it's going to be first down and 20. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Fairmont 14, Lewis nothing. Wide out to the near side is Jeffries. Quarterback pass to the far side, and the pass is dropped by Caton. He had it in his hands but couldn't hang on at the 42-yard line, and it falls incomplete.
That's a little bit of that spread that we talked about when they try to diversify their offense a little bit. So they will throw it around a little bit. So we have to be ready for that.
Now it's second down and 20. Play comes in from the sidelines, brought in by Grant Akerd. He's a receiver, 6'2", 170-pound senior. And Akerd will line up as a wideout to the near side. Quarterback Zelensky wants to pass, sends it short. Pass caught by Grant Akerd at the 42, and then he's wrestled down inside the 40, down at about the 37, maybe the 36-yard line. It'll be set down at the 36, so that will be a 9-yard gain on that pass play. Third down 11. Lewis now in 4-down territory. Game clock down to 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Third down and 11 yards to go for the Minutemen. Zelensky back to pass, getting pressure. He's hit from behind, and Bigelow's got him. It's a quarterback sack back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, just a speed rush up the field, and Bigelow got there in a hurry.
That'll be a 4-yard loss on that quarterback sack. And now the ball's back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, anytime in Coach Bardick's defense they can get pressure with just those three down linemen, it makes everything so much easier for them on the back end.
Minutemen taking lots of time. Play clock is down to 8 seconds as they get to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down, 15 yards. Zelensky running to the near side of the field, puts the ball down, and he is going to run for it and get stopped short at about the 34-yard line. There was a flag on the play. The game clock, or the play clock, ran out, but nobody saw it, or at least I didn't think. Now there's a conversation along the sidelines. A flag was thrown along the sidelines. Waiting for the call from the official. Holding against the Polar Bears. And that will be a first down for the Minutemen. So that will take the ball down to the 25-yard line. Lewis County gets its third first down. 2 have been by penalty.
Repeat fourth down. Make that first down, Lewis County.
There's some confusion on the sidelines with the down markers. They still don't have them in place, and the officials have to call a timeout. The officials signaled first down. The guys with the chains weren't sure, but now it is first down. Lewis has the ball at the Polar Bear 25-yard line. And quarterback Zelensky back to pass. Quick pass to the near side, incomplete along the sidelines.
Incomplete pass.
A little too hard to catch as that one was thrown over the head of Drew Caton. But it's unfair to say that's a pass he should have caught because he just got fingertips on it, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that play was very well covered. We were in a really good position that time.
Fairmont leads 14-0 late in the first quarter now. Just 1:39 to go. Center comes out over the ball. That's Tyler Carson for the Minutemen. Grant Akert goes wide to the right as they send wide out to the right, 2 to the left. And Zelensky hands it to the big back. That's Carter. Carter runs hard, takes it inside the 20, and he's hard to bring down. He's still running inside the 15-yard line and then tackled out of bounds.
Number 4, Braden Carter, the ball carrier.
See a flag on the field as well. And they're waving the flag off. Apparently the flag just came out of his pocket. Ball comes down to the 15-yard line, and it is enough for a Lewis County first down. That was an 11-yard gain for their big guy, Braden Carter. Concerning thing for the Polar Bears is you look at some of the runs for the Minutemen, you see 12, 10, 21, and 11. And it's 1st down and 10, first down number 4 for Lewis County, deep in Polar Bear territory at the 14-yard line. Zelensky up under center. Handoff goes to Carter again. Carter up the middle, takes it down close to the 10-yard line.
Number 4, Braden.
Yeah, they come back with the trap again, so that's a play we got to be watching for.
Dylan Hours in on the tackle for the Polar Bears, but that's a gain of 4, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
2nd down, Lewis County.
Remember, Fairmont had Lewis County stopped, but it was the big penalty that gave them the first down, kept the drive alive. At that point, you thought, well, it doesn't probably make much difference. But now the Minutemen are moving the football. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. They trail the Polar Bears 14-0. Carter lines up behind the quarterback who's under center, and the toss comes to the left. And there are flags to the line of scrimmage. A false start penalty coming up against Lewis County.
False start against Lewis County.
5-yard penalty.
Ball to the 15-yard line, repeat 2nd down.
That takes the ball back to the 15 where it's going to bring up a 2nd down. Now it's 2nd down and 11. Arbogast, Richmond, and Bigelow along the front for the Polar Bears defensively. Wing T formation. Handoff comes wide to the left side, and it's Caton, and Caton is just strung out and takes it out of bounds. He had no place to go. Michael eventually bumped him out of bounds.
That's how you defend a sweep. When you have sweep start your way, you have to, if you're a perimeter player, you have to come up immediately, and that's what we did that time.
That's a loss of a yard on that carry. Now we're looking at 3rd down and 12 for the Minutemen with the football marked back at the 16. 12 seconds left on the clock, but it stopped because that last play went out of bounds. But it's 3rd down and long, and the Minutemen have Zelensky rolling to the right now. Now he comes back the other way, being chased. He is hit. Now he just throws it downfield, underhanded, as he was under pressure from Taryn Boda. But it should count. If it gets across the line of scrimmage, it would count, but it didn't, and it's going to be intentional grounding. Yeah. He just shoveled it, and there was nobody there. So it really didn't make much difference. There's no way that was going to be an attempted pass. It's loss of down on intentional grounding as well.
I think they might have had some kind of play where they were trying to throw it back after rolling out a little bit to the right, and I think we defensed it pretty well, and that's why he had nowhere to go with it.
So it's -3 for the quarterback, and then the penalty. And the penalty takes it back to the 29-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down now. And there's still time on the clock, 4 seconds. They've got to get the football down inside the 10-yard line. 29 yards to go for the first down. Zielinski back to pass, getting pressure. Now runs to the near side of the field. He has lots of room to run, but he's not going to get enough as he's run out of bounds by Boda as the first quarter comes to an end, and the Polar Bears will take over at their own 20 when we come back after one quarter from Lewis County High School. It's Fairmont Senior 14, the Lewis County Minutemen nothing on 93.1 WFJM. Didn't get it into the end zone, but they kept the Polar Bears away from the ball offensively. And now Fairmont gets it back as we start the second quarter. The Polar Bears on top 14-0. But Fairmont has run just a handful of plays because their second touchdown was a special teams TD. Spread formation for Fairmont from its own 20-yard line, and Whitehair is in the pistol formation, and he keeps it. He's taking it to the left side. He gets to the 20, up to the 25, and cuts inside at the 30, and then is horse collar tackled down at about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, nice call that time on first down. They played two safeties really for the first time. They went to that look and a little lighter box. White-haired Poulter did a good job.
Brody gets 17 yards on the carry, and there'll be a penalty assessed afterwards. So first down for Fairmont Senior, and good field position coming up. Whitehair's carried the ball twice for 26 yards. He's the leading rusher, but the Polar Bears have only run 5 plays, 5 running plays and 5 passing plays. After the penalty, the ball is now in Lewis territory at the 48-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 Polar Bears. Fairmont leading 14-0 as we are just underway here in the second quarter. Whitehair trying to draw the Minutemen off sides. He has 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. That's Michael. He's in the pistol formation on this first down play. Takes the snap. Back to pass, steps up in the pocket, has time, over the middle. Dinger has it at the 30 and tries to reverse field, but he goes down instead at the 26, maybe the 25-yard line, but it will be enough for a Polar Bear first down.
Yeah, that time they play one single safety back, and we hit Dinger right there in the voided area right behind the linebacker. 23-yard
pass play, and Dinger has his 3rd catch, and the Polar Bears have another first down. And Whitehair's over 100 yards passing, and there's Damani Johnson getting the handoff, spun around at the line of scrimmage, and then falls forward for a yard. Gets it down to about the 25, maybe the 24-yard line.
Number 8, Damani Johnson, the ball carrier.
Give him a gain of a yard on the play and make it 2nd down and 9. Hours back in the backfield now, alongside Whitehair on this 2nd down from the Lewis 24. Low snap, Brody controls, steps up in the pocket, lost it into the end zone for Michael. He's got it! It's a Polar Bear touchdown.
Pass to number 14,
Gavin Michael catches the 24-yard TD pass from Brody Whitehair, and the Polar Bears lead 20-0.
Nice read that time. Whitehair looked the safety off, hit Michael right in stride. Nice job.
So Gavin Michael, as a receiver this season, gets the TD, and it's Cam Peschel into the game now to attempt the extra point. Canfield holding, kick is up, and the kick is good. And there's timeout on the field. 10 minutes, 54 seconds to go, second quarter. It's the Polar Bears 21, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFJM. On a TD pass from Brody Whitehair to Gavin Michael. Michael catching his first TD pass of his high school career. He turned a couple of interceptions into touchdowns last season, but the first time he's caught one from his own quarterback and took it in the end zone.
Number 1, Grant Akerd, and number 15, Drew Payton back to receive for Lewis County.
Now Michael ready to kick in the center of the field. Caden and Akerd are back deep, and here's Michael's kick. End over end, short, and it's going to be taken at the 13-yard line. And it's taken by Akerd, and he takes it up over the 25-yard line. And right about there is where he'll be stopped, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Minutemen at the 25.
Yeah, that's 3 kickoffs in a row. I really like our coverage, and that's something that as this season goes on, that's really going to be important for us as we get into close games.
And remember last season with Nate Flower kicking, it took a lot of pressure off the kick defense because you didn't have to worry about a return as he put so many in the end. Gavin is not going to do that, so there'll be a little more pressure on the kickoff team. Here come the Minutemen now. The ball at the 25-yard line, 10:47 on the clock, and there is the handoff. It goes up the middle, and the football is carried out over the 25, up close to the 30-yard line by Braden Carter. He has been a handful for the Polar Bears so far tonight.
Yeah, that's in the wing T offense. That fullback, if you have one that you can be dependent, you can depend on, it's a really big asset for everything because it opens everything else up.
Davian Thornton, a corner on the near side. Cannon Dinger, one of the safeties. Dylan Hours at a linebacker spot for the Polar Bears now. Second down and 5 for Lewis. And Zielinski hands this one off, and it is taken by Grant Akerd. He'll take it out over the 35 to the 36, and it'll be enough for a Lewis first down. 6-yard gain for Grant Akerd, or that's Owen Akerd, rather. So Lewis County keeps that ground game going. They've been successful running the ball against the Polar Bears so far tonight. I mean, you look at the score, and it's 21-0, and you think, oh, really lopsided. But Lewis' stats aren't that bad for a team down by 3 touchdowns. First down and 10. Hand off to Carter. Carter with running room will get nice yardage out over the 40 up to about. That's a nice gain. Canfield in on the tackle for the Polar Bears along with Gavin Michael. But it's a gain of 6. And 50 yards rushing for Braden Carter. Second down. And about 4 yards to go for the first down. And there is the handoff again, and that's Carter again, and he has the first down as he takes the football out over the 45 up to the 48-yard line. Tripped up there. Michael in on the stop for the Polar Bears, but another nice gain. This one up to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, we got to look to see if we start bringing a little more people into the box to see if we can stop the fullback.
Braden Carter, 60 yards rushing and 7 carries. First down 10 for the Minutemen. Polar Bears leading 21-0. Lewis back to the wing T, and quarterback on a deep handoff to Caton, and he is going to be smothered behind the line of scrimmage. Damani Johnson has him, as the Polar Bears had that one stuffed out really well.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job coming up the way you're supposed to on a sweep.
A loss back to the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play.
45-yard line, second down, Lewis County.
Here are Carter's running plays tonight. 3 yards, 21 yards, 11 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 10 yards. That gives a defensive coach nightmares. That's way too much on every single running play. Second down and 14 for the Minutemen. Back at the 45, and Zelensky to pass. He's getting pressure. Now a little pass dumped off at about the 50-yard line, caught and taken towards the sidelines by Drew Caton. Abrazino and Dinger in on the play for the Polar Bears.
You get good pressure on that time, flush him out of the pocket, and pretty good coverage coming up.
7-yard gain, and it's going to bring up third down and about 7 yards to go for the Minutemen. They've thrown for 16 yards, but their damage has been done on the ground. But now it's third down and 7. How will they approach this? Looks like Carter is out of the game. Quarterback Zelensky to pass. Has time. Down the sidelines. Pass incomplete. Out of bounds at about the 35. Dinger defending on the play. Oh my, they say he caught it. They say Dinger caught it along the sidelines. I thought he was out of bounds, but he has it, and the Polar Bears have the football at the 33-yard line. I think Cannon was a little surprised the official awarded him the ball.
Yeah, he seems to always be around the football.
He was last season, led the Polar Bears in interceptions, and now we have a timeout call at the change of possession. 6:29 to go. Second quarter, Fairmont 21, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFJM. Cannon Dinger with a diving interception, his 6th in his career. He had 5 last season to lead the Polar Bears. And so Fairmont has the football. 6:29 at the change of possession, and the Polar Bears have it at the 33-yard line in their own territory. Whitehair has hours in the backfield behind him. Brody has been very successful tonight. He's thrown for over 100 yards. And it's 1st down and 10 now with the Polar Bears up by 3 touchdowns. And there is the handoff to Hours. Hours heads into the left side of the line, tries to stop in reverse field, and he's brought down at the 35. He'll get 2. Tackle on the play was made by Alex Goodwin, a 5'8", 175 junior. 2 yards for Dylan Hours. And it's 2nd down and 8 for Fairmont. Out of the shotgun. Time at the line of scrimmage. Dead ball. False start called against the Polar Bears. So, 5-yard penalty against the Polar Bears. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 13. Football comes back to the 30. The Polar Bears have to get to the 43 for a 1st down as they move from right to left on the near hash marks. Wide out to the right, 2, and 2 to the left. Shotgun formation right here, back to pass. Lots of time. Now decides to tuck it and run, and he gets up to the 30 and up to the 34, and the ball pops loose. The officials say that Whitehair was down. So he'll get 4 yards, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 9. Good coverage for Lewis that time. 3rd down 9. The ball at the Fairmont 34. 5 minutes to go in the 1st half, and the Polar Bears have a 21-0 lead. Empty backfield set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And Whitehair to pass over the middle for Dinger. He can't catch this one. It's broken up from behind. Incomplete. And a punting situation coming up for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, pretty good coverage on that play by the Lewis County defender.
So it's 4th down and 9 for Fairmont Senior. Gavin Michael is the Polar Bears punter. And he will stand back at the 20-yard line. First punt of the game for the Polar Bears. Drew Caton will be back deep to return for the Minutemen. Michael gets a good snap, punts it away, floater down the center of the field. Nice punt, and it's going to be caught at the 23-yard line. Taken up to the 25. White jersey's there, and Caton goes down at about the 27-yard line.
Tell you, I really like these kick coverage units tonight for us. They really have been getting after it on their coverage.
Change of possession, 4:39 on the clock, and Fairmont leads it 21-0.
Forward progress to the 27.
So Lewis County gets the football. Check out the front line for the Polar Bears. Kakini, Arbogast, and Richmond in the game. Outside linebackers, Aberzino on the near side and Boda on the far side. Inside linebackers, Hours and Canfield. 1st down for Lewis County. Under center is Zielinski. Wing back in motion, and the handoff comes to him. Running wide to the right side. Gets it out over the 25. Back to about the line of scrimmage at the 27-yard line as Owen Akert is run out of bounds.
Yeah, I like the way we're defending the sweep. We're coming up the way we're supposed to. When it comes that way, we're coming up the way we're supposed to. Just got to be a little more strong in the interior.
1 yard gain for Owen Akert. It's 2nd down and 9. And he did get out of bounds, so it stops the clock with 4:33 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Fairmont Senior 21, Lewis County nothing. The Polar Bears have won 8 in a row over Lewis County. Last time the Minutemen won against the Polar Bears was 2014. Carter back in the game, lining up behind the quarterback, and he sure enough gets the football, and he spins away from one tackler and takes it up close to the 35-yard line, and that's where he's brought down. Stop on the play was made by the Polar Bears' Gavin Michael, but he gets nice yardage. He's only going to be a yard short of the 1st down.
number 33, Luke Aberzino.
Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's running hard, and we've got to get a little lower on our tackling of him. He's a big back, so we've got to get lower.
They're down a yard to go at the 36 in Lewis territory. Wide out to the left. Carter lines up behind the quarterback, who's up under center. And Carter gets the handoff off the left side. He's hit, then breaks free, takes it to the 40, and over the 40 to the 41, and it'll be a first down for Lewis County. 5-yard gain for Braden Carter.
Yeah, the best solution when you have a back like that's just a big back, you got to rally to the football. You got to get as many people, many hats to the football as you can, because one's not going to do it. You got to get as many as you can.
And the problem you have if you're Lewis County is how long can you keep giving him the ball before he tires out? It's first down and 10 for the Minutemen now. And there is the counterplay, and it's coming to Caton, and Caton is brought down.
Play it. He stayed at home, and he didn't get fooled. And I'll tell you what, he's doing a nice job tonight.
1-yard loss on that play, and it's going to be second down and 11 yards to go for the Minutemen now. Game clock down to 2:42. Play clock down to 10. Looks as though the Minutemen are going to call a timeout. They're just letting the play clock turn down and then call a timeout. So we have a timeout on the field, 2:20 to go here in the second quarter. The score, Fairmont Senior 21, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFJM. It's second down and 11 for Lewis County with 2:21 to go in the first half, and the Polar Bears on top 21-0. Wide out to the near side, that's Caton. Quarterback Zelensky out of the shotgun. He hands it off to Carter, and Carter breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and still runs out over the 45 up to the 50 and down to the 48-yard line.
First down, Lewis County.
It'll be a 12-yard gain for Carter. And he's getting close to 100 rushing yards here in the first half. He has 85 yards rushing on 10 carries. And Lewis County now has its 8th first down of the night. The Polar Bears have 7. But the Polar Bears are a little more big play team. Lewis is doing it on the ground. 1:50 to go. First down and 10, and Zelensky hands this one off, and it's taken wide to the left side, down to the 45-yard line, and then run out of bounds. On the far side of the field is Drew Caton, and now a late flag thrown along the sidelines. He was stopped at the 41. That was a 7-yard gain. Dead ball personal foul called against the Polar Bears. So from the 41-yard line, they'll take it down 15 yards. So that'll take the football down to about the 26.
15-yard penalty resulting in an automatic first down.
First down for Lewis County. That is first down number 9. And game clock at 1:42. Ball at the Polar Bear 26. Lewis comes to the line of scrimmage now. Carter, the running back, behind the quarterback, who's up under center. Wing backs left and right. Wing back in motion. Handoff goes on a counter to Caton. And Caton is strung up along the line of scrimmage. And flag is on the play. Waiting for the call, and it is holding coming up against Lewis County.
Again, really like how our perimeter players are playing the counter, playing those types of plays, because that's something that's easy to do to chase, and we're not chasing, we're staying at home when the action goes away from us. So that's really good to see early on in this season.
It's also good to see that I just figured out where the light switch was.
It is, Jeff.
Wow,
I agree.
What a difference. I recognized your voice. I just wasn't sure who you were. So it's now going to be 1st down and 20 for the Minutemen. The ball comes back to the 36-yard line. Zelensky to pass, getting pressure from Bigelow. His pass intercepted at the 45-yard line. With it is Damani Johnson inside the 20, the 10, the 5. He's into the end zone. It's a Polar Bear touchdown. Damani Johnson, a 65-yard pass interception return for a TD, a pick six. And the Polar Bears go on top 27-0. Give Bigelow credit, though. He pressured the quarterback and caused that interception.
Yeah, that was great pressure by Bigelow, but I'll tell you what, the impressive thing is as soon as he got the pressure, as soon as the interception occurred, he got up and got a block. That's the offensive lineman in him.
So just when it looked as though Lewis might be getting close to putting points on the board, the Polar Bears come up with a defensive gem, and now Cam Peschel will attempt his 4th extra point of the night. Ball is down on the tee, and the kick is up, and it is good. And we have a timeout on the field with 1:05 to go in the second quarter. Polar Bears 28, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Interception TDs were a staple of last year's Polar Bear team. They had 6 of them in the season. And the Polar Bears start out season opener with 1 tonight as Damani Johnson catches it along the sidelines. And once he caught it, he had open field down the sidelines into the end zone. 65-yard interception return, and the Polar Bears now have a 28-0 lead.
It's good to see turnovers because turnovers are really big, as far as success of a defense. And I know Coach Barlick's defense is really built upon that, is trying to create the big play and the turnovers, and that was a very big one right there.
So now the Polar Bears will kick off from right to left. If you're a Lewis County fan, you're thinking, my goodness, we were so close to cutting this to a 2-touchdown game, and then all of a sudden it's a 4 TD deficit. Michael tees the ball up at the 40. Akert and Caton are back deep. Michael approaches the ball from right to left, and this is a little longer kick, end over end, and it is going to be taken inside the 5-yard line. With it is Akert, and Akert runs it off the left side and is run down along the far sidelines.
Number 1, Graham Akert with the return.
Nice coverage again.
Ball's going to be marked down close to the 20.
Number 31.
And that's where Lewis County will get it with inside 1 minute to go in the first half.
19-yard line, 1st down, Lewis County.
Call it at the 19. Polar Bears scored twice in the first quarter. 1 yard run by Hours, a 60-yard punt return by Hours. Then a completed pass, TD pass to Gavin Michael in the second quarter, and a pass interception return for 65 yards by Damani Johnson. That's 4 TDs for Fairmont Senior. See what Lewis decides to do now with the ball deep in its territory on a 1st down and 10. Handoff, no place to go.
Number 22, Alex Goodwin.
That was Alex Goodwin carrying, and Riley Green in on the tackle for the Polar Bears.
Timeout.
And a timeout called by the Polar Bears on 93.1 WFGM.
Number 15, Drew Caton, the ball carrier.
Drew Caton takes the handoff, and he gets it up to the 23-yard line before he's brought down by Logan Canfield. And the Polar Bears call another timeout with 44 seconds to go in the second quarter, and a 3rd down coming up for the Minutemen. It's Fairmont 28, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFGM. The Polar Bears trying to get the football back, calling another timeout. It's 3rd down and 7 coming up for Lewis County with a football marked at about the 23-yard line. Quarterback Zielinski hands the ball up the middle, and it is taken to the 25, and that'll be all. And the Polar Bears will call their final timeout and force the Minutemen into a punting situation with 37 seconds to go. Timeout, Polar Bears. It's Fairmont 28, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Minute taking a while to play as the Polar Bears calling timeout after timeout to force Lewis to give the football back, and that's what's happening now. It's 4th down and 4 yards to go for Lewis County. The ball at the 25-yard line. And Oldacre in to do the punting. Dinger and Hours are deep, and the punt. Low line drive, hits at the 50, rolls towards the sidelines and goes out of bounds at about the 39-yard line in Fairmont territory with 31 seconds to go in the first half.
This is a great opportunity to execute some 2-minute offense at this point in the game and see what we can do with it.
And the Polar Bears have no timeouts, so that will definitely influence what they're going to do here. Of course, in high school ball, clock will stop on a first down, and you can spike the ball in high school football as well. It's at the 39 on the near sidelines, near hash marks. Polar Bears move from right to left, leading here 28-0, but looking for more. And he's going to be sacked at the 39-yard line, and that'll really hurt because game clock is already down to 20, and the Polar Bears on a quarterback sack. Second down, 10 yards to go, 10 seconds to go. Whitehair back to pass again, has lots of time, sets up, fires downfield long, underthrows his intended receiver, and it's intercepted at the 30-yard line, and Lewis County will have the football. Pass was intercepted on the far side of the field, and Lewis will have the ball as Grant Akerd gets the interception, and Lewis will get it with just 3 seconds to go. So we'll chalk that up as a learning moment for the 2-minute offense as the Polar Bears with a quarterback sack and then an intercepted pass. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah, the sacks will hurt you in the 2-minute offense, definitely.
Lewis will now just take a knee, and the first half will come to an end from Lewis County High School. This Big Ten Conference season opener as the Polar Bears on top by 4 touchdowns. At halftime, the score, Fairmont Senior 28, Lewis County nothing. And the halftime report coming up next on 93.1 WFJM. A nice night here in Lewis County. No rain has fallen since the game started. There was some threat of rain today, but it's been a nice evening so far. Polar Bears with a 28-0 lead. But I think, Ray, when you look at the first half, there's still plenty to talk about in that Polar Bear locker room at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, there are positives. I mean, I think one of the positives that can't be overlooked is special teams. I think special teams, they have played very well thus far. But, and obviously big plays, we're making those. But, I'd like to see a little bit more on offense as far as sustained drives. In defense, obviously, we got to tackle the fullback. But on the positive side of things, we found a way to keep them out of the end zone and keep a zero on the scoreboard. So, there are positives, but like you said, there are a lot of things that will be talking about in the locker room, I'm sure.
And one of those, you take a look at the Polar Bears offensively in the first half, and you take a look at the running game, and you look at designed runs, there were hardly any. There were maybe three or four design runs. Brody broke free on a scramble a couple of times, but that's been one of the weak points for the Polar Bears here in the first half. They really haven't been able to churn out any yards on the ground.
Yeah, and I think some of that is credit to Lewis County, but I think it's also by alignment they really are loading up the box. And so I think you saw the one time with Brody on the one run where he kept it. There wasn't anybody out there to defend it. So I just think it's one of those things where we just got to keep taking what the defense gives us. But sometimes it is hard when you're outnumbered. To account for everybody, and sometimes that happens. But we still have to find a way to have some kind of an inside running game. We definitely have to do that.
And the other thing that makes it hard on your offense is when you're coming up with the big plays on the other side of the ball or special teams. And we've seen a touchdown scored on a punt return. We've seen a touchdown scored on an interception return. So that, in effect, keeps the offense off the field. So you have fewer plays to run, and that's been the case tonight. I mean, the Polar Bears offensively have run the ball 8 times, and they've thrown it 11. That's 19 plays. And in a high school football game in one half, for a team like Fairmont, that is a very low number.
It is, and I think that's one of the things they Lewis County has possessed the ball, and they've done a really good job. Pretty much till they get to the red zone. But when they've gone to the red zone, we've been able to tighten up. Because the field shortens down there, and obviously it's a lot harder. But I think that we have to find a way, to rally to the fullback. Some of the things one of the big plays in the wing T offense is that trap, and to be able to defend that trap, we have to make sure we don't fly up the field too far. We have to squeeze and jam down the linemen. If they are trying to release to a linebacker, we can't fly up the field. We got to jam it down so that he doesn't have as much space to run.
Some new things this season. Want to mention, didn't really get a chance to in the first half, but at the end of the game, we will be selecting the Elevate Physical Therapy Player of the Game, and that player will be recognized on Tuesday night when we have our very first ever Parmar Coaches Show. That will be at Mason Jar Restaurant, and it will begin at 6 o'clock. It'll be from 6 to 7, and you're invited to come on out. Or if you want to just listen, you'll be able to listen in as well. That will be the new Coaches Show, Parmar Coaches Show, Tuesday night, 6 to 7, Mason Jar. Nick Barnick, an assistant coach or two, a player or two will be part of all of that as well. We'll also have some extra things as well, maybe a little Polar Bear trivia, so do some scouring of the record books before you show up on Tuesday night, and that's all going to be broadcast here on 93.1 WFGM. That's Tuesday. And then, if that's not enough, coming up before every home game, we have the Parmar Tailgate Show. This will be starting at 6 o'clock before all home games at a very convenient location at the Derby, just adjacent to the stadium. So you're coming to the game, you want to come a little early, you can stop by and be a part of the Tailgate Show at the Derby, 6 o'clock before all Polar Bear home games. There's a lot more going on than just the football games this season. And there's more going on at halftime. We're going to check that when we come back as halftime continues from Lewis County High School with the score. Fairmont Senior 28, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Because we have Zach Frazier's dad sitting beside us. And Ray, it is now, I think, a foregone conclusion that from now on you will just be Zach's dad.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, how about just give me a little bit of the optimism that you're feeling about this upcoming football season for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I feel really good about it. I mean, I think that they've worked hard. I think that they're going to be in really good shape going into this season because I just think that they're really they've prepared and it's going to be a big challenge. I mean, they've got a really tough schedule as we know, but I think they're ready to go. I think they're ready to prove people wrong.
Tell me what it's like when you get up in the morning and you read where Zach has another honor or he's on a watch list for this particular award. I mean, he has had such a wonderful football career at WVU. What's that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat to see, but I can tell you, I mean, Zach is very grounded as far as how he looks at that stuff, and I can tell you that that's something that he doesn't really pay a lot of attention to. He says that at the end that's when he wants to pay attention to it, but right now he's focused on what's ahead of him. But I mean, it is pretty neat to see, but again, those things are hopefully they're there at the end, and that's what he's hoping for. But right now he's just focused on what's ahead. He's focused on Penn State.
Tell me what it's like also when you sit down and talk with him. Is he a talker about the football program, or is he pretty much, he'll answer questions, but you have to ask?
Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot of information because he's really focused on what's ahead of him. Of course, I mean we talk, but I mean it's really about the task at hand, and right now it's really about the preparation and watching film and getting ready and so I mean, but to answer your question, not a lot. No.
Well, he has a big prime-time opportunity coming up, the Penn State season opener. That's a very difficult first game for this Mountaineer team. What are your thoughts as you get set to watch him in action against this Penn State program? Yeah,
I mean, you really look at the program. I mean, their defense in particular. I mean, the defense coordinator that's there, Manny Diaz. He has been successful wherever he's been. I mean, he's already been a head coach at the University of Miami, but every stop that he's been at, he's been very successful. So he's a very, very well-respected defensive coordinator. Brings a lot of pressure, and so we've got our hands full. So we have to be ready for that, and a lot of I tell you, third downs are going to be really important, as it is in pretty much any defense you face. But he's really creative in the blitzes and the blitz packages he brings. So that's one of the big things we got to really watch out for, I'm sure.
Do you think this Mountaineer team has the potential of being a ball control type of team?
I do. I mean, I think that's something that I think they're going to be able to do both. But I just think that they have the ability, with a veteran offensive line, the running backs that they have, and I think it's going to be one of those things where I think they're going
to play together for a long time. What's the relationship among those guys?
Very close. They do a lot of things together. They're very well connected, and they play for each other. They're really good friends with each other, and so I just think that counts for a lot. They're just a really close-knit, tight-knit group, and so I think a lot of big things are coming to them this year.
So our inside report on WVU football, the first one in the books now, as Ray Frazier gives us his ideas of what's ahead for WVU football. And when we come back, we're going to check the stats, and we're going to take a look at what's going on around West Virginia high school football tonight as the halftime show continues with the score: Fairmont Senior 28, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Lewis County with Polar Bears on top of the Minutemen by the score of 28-0. Let's take a look at some scores around West Virginia. First, let's just continue in AA, where defending state champion Independence is leading Liberty Raleigh 34-0. That game is late in the second quarter. Herbert Hoover and Scott are playing, but they're not playing tonight. They're playing tomorrow. That's a big game. You know, Hoover has a brand new stadium, but they're going to Graham, Virginia, and Graham is leading that game 7-0 second quarter. Last night, North Marion handled East Fairmont with ease, 55-24. Roane County on top of Shady Spring at halftime, 14-7. And Kaiser blanking RCB. That's the Polar Bears' next opponent next Thursday night. The Golden Tornado leading Robert C. Byrd 14-0. Liberty of Harrison County leading Elkins 14-0 at halftime. That game's being played at Elkins' new football stadium. Philip Barber leads Grafton 35-14 in the second quarter. Lincoln and Braxton County are scoreless. Nitro 21, Polka 6 second quarter. Point Pleasant leading AAA's Greenbrier East 6-0. Chapmanville a 21-0 lead over Sissonville at halftime. And Wayne leading Tolsha 28-0 second quarter. That completes the AA scoreboard. Let's slip over to AAA now. Big matchup in AAA taking place in Huntington, Spring Valley, and Huntington's Highlanders. It's 14-0. Huntington leading that game in the second quarter. Both of those teams are considered top 10 AAA schools. Martinsburg is not playing tonight, but will play tomorrow in Ironton, Ohio. Hurricane 63, Winfield nothing. That is a final score. Winfield, a AA school, against a Hurricane team that won it big. Bridgeport leads Buchanan Upshur 34-0 in the second quarter. Cabell Midland on top of George Washington 49-21. Parkersburg South leads Capital 35-6. That game is just ending the first quarter. Morgantown, no trouble with South Charleston 30-0. Jefferson leading Spring Mills 14-0. Preston and Hampshire, a battle of two teams that have struggled to win games lately, and it's 14-14 in the second quarter. Musselman leading Handley, Virginia 28-21. Nicholas County on top of Oak Hill at the half 3-0. And University leads John Marshall 12-0. That's a future Polar Bear opponent, the Hawks that is. That game still in the first quarter. And Wheeling Park 36, Hedgesville nothing in the second quarter. That completes our AAA scores, and let's see if there's any score here in AA that will interest us. Well, let's pick up this one. Clay Battelle leading 100 8-6 at halftime. So that's the way things are going around the state. How about here at Lewis County? The Polar Bears holding a 28-0 lead. Let's check the first half stats. Stats make it look like the game should be a lot closer than it is. First downs, Lewis County 9, Fairmont Senior 7. Rushing yards, Lewis County 106, Fairmont Senior 36. Through the air, Lewis has completed 2 of 6 passes for 16 yards, but 2 intercepted, 1 return for a touchdown. And the Polar Bears have completed 5 of 9 passes for 126 yards and 1 touchdown. Total offense, the Polar Bears 162, the Minutemen 122. Penalties, 3 flags against Lewis for 39 yards. Polar Bears 4 penalties for 40. Leading rusher in the game for Lewis, Braden Carter, 85 yards on 10 carries. He by far leading all rushers tonight. And on the Polar Bear side, it's quarterback Brody Whitehair, 3 carries, 30 yards. Let's recap the scoring, and it happened quickly for the Polar Bears on the first possession. Dylan Hours went in on a 1-yard run to give the Polar Bears a 6-0 lead. That Polar Bear touchdown was set up by 3 passes, 2 to Cannon Dinger, 1 to Dylan Hours. During that drive, Whitehair threw for 79 yards, but the touchdown was scored on a 1-yard run. Fairmont up 7-0. midway through the first quarter. Then, after the Polar Bears held Lewis, Minutemen punt back to the Polar Bears. Dylan Hours catches it on his 40, and a few seconds later, he was in the end zone. A 60-yard punt return for a touchdown, and the Polar Bears are on top 14-0 after Cam Peschel gets the extra point. Then in the second quarter, Gavin Michael catches his first TD pass, 24 yards out, 10:34 to go. Cam Peschel comes on and kicks the extra point. Fairmont on top 21-0. And then in the closing minutes of the first half, in fact, 1:06 to go, Devontae Johnson intercepts a Bryant Zielinski pass, goes 65 yards for the touchdown, and the Polar Bears lead 27-0. Extra point by Peschel is good. It's 28-0, and that's where we stand at the half. The Polar Bears on top of Lewis County by the score of 28-0. And when we come back, it'll be time to start the second half from Lewis County High School. Halftime score again, Fairmont 28, the Minutemen nothing on 93.1 WFGM. First half in the books, and now halftime in the books as the Polar Bears and the Minutemen getting ready to start the second half. And you can tell things are still a little bit out of sync because Fairmont was already out lining up to kick off, but they hadn't even met at the center of the field to have that discussion about which side you're going to defend and actually making the choice if you want to kick off or receive. So the Polar Bears won the opening coin toss and took the football first. We have a half under our belts as well, and now I'm ready to go because it's all come back to me now. How about you?
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's coming back to us. We kind of know what we're doing. The secret to our feeling this way, though, a lot of it is when we figured out that there is electricity here and we could turn a light on, and all of a sudden we could see.
It made a lot of difference.
It really did. Yeah. So, captains meeting at the center of the field. This is a formality. It's Drew Caton for Lewis and Dylan Hours for Fairmont, and the Polar Bears will kick off and defend the goal to our right. So just as was expected, and the Polar Bears did come out to kick off before they had that meeting, and they were doing it just where they were supposed to, as the Polar Bears will be kicking off from right to left. Don't forget, end of the game, Elevate Physical Therapy Player of the Game. Don't forget Tuesday night, first ever Parmar Coaches Show from the Mason Jar Restaurant. Come on out have your dinner. Be part of this interactive coaches show. It's not just the coach and me talking for an hour. We'll have other people to talk, along with assistant coaches, some players, and who knows what else. And that is coming up on Tuesday night. Then next Friday, Parmar Tailgate Show, 6 o'clock from the Derby. Everyone invited. Stop in before the game. Gavin Michael ready to kick off for the Polar Bears now. Akerd and Caton back to return for the Minutemen. Gavin takes a really big run up to the ball, about 12 yards, and he sends his soccer-style kick down the field, and it is caught at the 3-yard line. This is Caton, who brings that out over the 5, the 10, and he is hit. Max Bracero hit him and brought him down, and it'll be Lewis County's ball in its own territory inside the 20-yard line.
Jeff, I may sound like a broken record, but I am really happy with this kick coverage. I really am.
And
they've done a great job.
And that one was really a nice kick by Gavin.
Yes, and his kicks have gotten better every time.
That one was inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line and had some height to it, so it makes the coverage team's job a little bit easier when that guy's not already 10 yards. Here we go now. First down and 10 for the Minutemen. Their big back is their fullback, Braden Carter. He's run for almost 100 yards. And he gets the football first. He's bumped at the line of scrimmage, then spins free, and then dives out over the 20 up to the 21-yard line. So he'll get about 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5 for the Minutemen.
We're in position to stop. We just gotta finish it.
That's one of the few times that they really had hit him near the line of scrimmage. He's been able to get a good head of steam going before absorbing contact. They're going to give him a gain of 4, not 5. So make it second down and 6 for Lewis County now with the football mark just over the 20-yard line. Wing T formation, and the handoff goes to Caton trying to get outside to the right. He has no place to go.
Yeah, great job defending the sweep again.
That was actually Owen Akerd carrying the football and stopped. No gain on the play. PA guy calling Dylan Orrs instead of Dylan Ours. If you're hearing that name, wondering who's Orrs, that's Ours. A loss for Akerd of 1 yard. And now it's going to be third down and 8 for the Minutemen. Deep in their own territory. Quarterback Zielinski has Carter beside him. He's back to pass, getting pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's running with it and slides down at the 24.
And nice coverage on that play. Had nowhere to go with the football.
Punting situation now for the Minutemen. Oldacre in to do the punting. Ours and Dinger back deep for the Bears. And here is Oldacre's punt. Angles to the sidelines, and Dinger catches it along the sidelines and then is out of bounds at the 36. Teams played in Fairmont. It was actually 21-6 Polar Bears at halftime.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Lewis County. I mean, they really are hanging in.
In the last 8 years or so, Lewis opening round matchups have been either Fairmont Senior or Bridgeport. They haven't been ducking anybody, that's for sure. First down 10, Polar Bears from the 36, and Whitehair back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, down the near sidelines. The pass is in and out of the hands of Navon Jones. If he catches it, it's a touchdown.
Well, that's a well-executed play. We just didn't come up with it. They brought blitz pressure from the outside, from the boundary, and we slid out to it. The offensive line did a great job. Everything, we just got to catch it.
Navon Jones is going to catch a lot of passes for the Polar Bears this season. He's looked really good in the 7-on-7 in the summertime and in the scrimmages, but that time just didn't quite come up with it. And it's going to be second down and 10 for the Polar Bears now. Whitehair, pistol formation, 2 receivers left and right, and this time it's handed down to the 46-yard line. You don't even have to see the number to know who that ball carrier was. Dylan Hours is the guy that just doesn't go down. Not very easily, that's for sure. And he's taken it to the 46 in Lewis territory for a Fairmont first down.
Yeah, definitely like to see that on that play right there. We had hat on a hat and getting good movement.
18-yard gain, and Fairmont gets its 8th first down of the night. Now the ball is in Lewis territory. Whitehair, long count, now looks to the sidelines. Damani Johnson is the back behind him. And Johnson gets the handoff up the middle, sees a nice opening. It takes it down to the 40. Nice gain, about 6 yards on the play. Lewis County defender lost his helmet. And Lava Kakini, personable guy, picks up the helmet and hands it to him.
And those last 2 plays, we see the offensive line starting to impose their will and starting to come off the ball a lot better than in the first half. I like to see that.
Ball is at the 40, where it's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Polar Bears. And there's a pass on the far side caught by Dinger. Dinger gets down close to the marker, about a yard short, and he's down on his back at about the 37-yard line. Looks to be about a yard short, a 3-yard pass play.
And nice read by Whitehair to just take what the defense gave him there.
Cannon Dinger, size-wise, isn't going to impress you. He's 5'10", 160, but everything he does on the field will. 3rd down and a yard to go for the Polar Bears. And there's the handoff to Dylan Hours up the middle. And Hours takes the ball inside the 35, and now a flag is thrown on that play.
With the ball carrier, brought down by number 4, Braden Carter. Flag on the play.
This time the penalty might be going the other way. He took it down to the 33-yard line. It is a face mask penalty, 15-yarder, 4-yard gain for Hours, and then the penalty after that. So the Polar Bears have the football now with a 1st down and 10 with the football marked at about the 13-yard line. Whitehair back to pass, sets up, now runs with the ball. He's taking it to the left side, angles to the sidelines. He's at the 10, he's down to the 5, and he takes it towards the goal line, and he stopped just short. Whitehair is going to be stopped short of the goal line, but he'll have a Polar Bear 1st down, and it's going to be 1st down and goal to go.
Yeah, good decision by Whitehair, but I'd like to see that he's trying to go through his progressions before he takes off. He's making sure that nothing's there before he does. So good decision by him on that play.
Gets it down to the 2-yard line, and it is going to be 1st down and goal to go from there for the Polar Bears. Hours behind Whitehair. And the handoff goes to Dylan Hours off the right side. He squirms free and takes it down to the 1-yard line. A 1-yard gain for Dylan Hours, and it's going to be 2nd down and goal to go.
Ball short of the goal line, 2nd down, Fairmont Senior.
Chris Wilson checks into the lineup for the Polar Bears and now checks back out. 2nd down, goal to go for the Polar Bears from the 1-yard line. Whitehair gives it to Hours. Hours down to the goal line, into the end zone. Hits up, Polar Bear touchdown. Dylan Hours with a 1-yard run, and he scores the touchdown for the Polar Bears, his 3rd of the night. And Fairmont Senior leads it by the score of 34-0.
Yeah, nice drive. Good drive that time. Like to see us coming off the ball the way we did that drive. That was good.
Cam Peschel ready to attempt the extra point for Fairmont Senior. He's perfect tonight, 4 for 4. Canfield the holder, and his kick is up, and it is good. Peschel gets the extra point, and there's timeout on the field with 6:46 to go in the third quarter. Fairmont Senior 35 and Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Now has upped its lead to 35-0. That 35 is the number for the running clock in the fourth quarter. And the Polar Bears have reached that mark now.
And Jeff, I want to give a little shout out to that last PAT. Canfield did a great job handling that snap. Nice job getting that down.
The unsung hero.
Unsung hero, that's right.
The only time you notice him, it's
I did.
Like the center. You know all about that.
I do.
The only time anybody knows the center's in the game is when there's a bad snap.
That's right.
And the same with the holder. The only time he's recognized is when he doesn't get the ball on the tee.
That's right.
I'm the parent of a holder, and you're the parent of a center. So we are a little biased
That's
as
right.
far as that goes. Polar Bears ready to kick off. Gavin Michael is going to see if he can keep his extensions going. If he does so, he'll probably put it into the end zone. But that might be putting a little too much pressure on him this time. But his kicks have gotten progressively longer, and his last one went down just inside the 3. Tees the ball up in the center of the field, approaches it from right to left. And this one's a short end-over-end kick that is going to bounce and go out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds.
So we went from one extreme to the other with Gavin. Kicking it almost to the end zone, and then one that just wasn't what he wanted to do went out of bounds. So the Minutemen are going to have the football as the penalty. The official call of that is illegal procedure. The essence of it is Lewis County gets the football at its own 35-yard line. So the officials set it down on the far hash marks. Lewis going from left to right. Minutemen in the camouflage uniforms tonight. Polar Bears with the white jerseys, white helmets, blue pants. Front line for the Polar Bears. In the middle is Gacchini, flanked by Richmond and Bigelow. Outside linebackers Boda and Abrazino, Bracero and Michael. Inside linebackers, 1st and 10 for Lewis County. And there is the wingback getting the handoff, and he is hit and brought down by Bracero. And there's a late flag after the play, and then another flag is thrown as well. Bracero made the tackle, and then he went flying as though he was hit. And then a flag was thrown, and then right after that, another flag was thrown. So let's decipher this.
Against Fairmont.
And it's going to be offsetting.
Offsetting penalties.
So, right back where we started. Those were both dead ball offsetting penalties. So the play will count. Well, apparently it's not going to count. So they were not dead ball penalties, so they'll run the play again. Although the yard marker says 2nd down. So if it's dead ball, it's 2nd down. If it's not, it's 1st down. And there's the handoff going off the left side, and ball is taken out over the 35 to about the 38 by Brady.
A lot better job of getting people to him that time. You know, 220-pound back is not easy to contend with at any level, and you know, high school's no different. I mean, so we've got to get people like that to him, and that was a good job that time.
Looks like we're going with third down, so they did consider that a dead ball, but for some reason moved the ball back to the original line of scrimmage when the play actually ended behind the line of scrimmage by a couple of yards. So now third down and 6 yards to go for the Minutemen. The ball at the 39, and Zielinski wants to pass. Now rolling to the far side of the field, and he's got some room to run. Gets down the sidelines for the first down. Gets it almost to midfield. He'll be run out of bounds at the 48.
Number 14, Brian Zielinski with the quarterback back feet. First down, Lewis County.
So it's going to be a 9-yard run for Zielinski and a Lewis County first down. That is the first of the second half, the 10th in the game for the Minutemen. Tavion Thornton is a cornerback on the near side. That's a new name to you, but not new at the school. He's a senior playing football for the first time. Zielinski under center. He gives it to the big guy, Carter, running off the left side down to the sidelines, and he runs out of bounds. Just matters where they're going to call him out of bounds 1 yard short of the first down at the 43-yard line. So it will be second down and a yard to go. 9 yards for Carter. Next time he carries it, he's probably going to go over 100 yards because he's at 98 right now. Third down, or second and 1. Carter up the middle, and he'll take it down to the 41-yard line. He'll get a first down, and get his 100th yard of the night. Bracero makes the tackle for the Polar Bears. And Lewis County gets it to the 41. 5:20, third quarter. Fairmont Senior 35, Lewis County nothing. Dakota Nisley in the game for the Polar Bears. Navon Jones in the secondary, along with Canfield. And here is the inside handoff coming to Caton. Caton takes the football down to the 40, and then he's spun around and brought down hard. Officials' time on the play. We have a Lewis County player shaken up on the play. So we have a momentary time. 4:44 to go in the third quarter. Timeout with the score. Fairmont Senior 35, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Gage Michael is playing college football at Fairmont State now. He spent some time at Kent State, but is back in town now and playing as a receiver for Fairmont State. He's also joined by former Polar Bear teammates Jay Stolten and Landon Tasker, and also Kobe Toothman. Also football players at WVU. Of course, you know about Zach Frazier and Nate Flower on the team, as well as a kicker. And also Eric Smith playing football at Miami University, and Aiden Green playing football at Johns Hopkins, and Darius Hubbard at Glenville State. Kobe Hamilton is also wrestling at Glenville. Those are former Polar Bear athletes still playing. Second down, and he just runs over tacklers and takes it inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line, and enough for a first down.
Yeah, you got to credit that right side of the Lewis County offensive line. They did a really good job on that play.
It'll be a 14-yard gain, and that gives Carter 114 yards rushing tonight. Coming into the Polar Bear lineup now is Reed Lister. He's a junior, 6'2", 250. And also checking in for the Polar Bears now, Drew Jackson. First down 10 for the Minutemen, trailing the Polar Bears 35-0. Wingback comes in motion. That's Drew Caton. Handoff goes to Carter, cutting inside a block, and he gets it wide to the left and then strung out and brought down at about the line of scrimmage.
When you have a back like that, you don't want them going north and south. You want them going east and west, and that's what we did that time. We got them going east and west. That's a lot better.
That is the first time tonight he's been stopped for no gain. Tristan Wills was one of those in on the stop. He lost his helmet. Tristan is not a big guy, 5'6", 125-pound junior.
Yeah, Jeff, another thing about these big backs like this, it's really hard to simulate that in practice. Unless you have a kid that's like that, it's very hard to simulate a 220-pound back, so until you get in the game.
Second down, and the handoff comes to the near side. That's Akerd with the football, and he's wrapped up and brought down just inside the 20. Stop on the play was made by Jordan Wagner for the Polar Bears. 6-yard gain, and it's going to be third down and 4. Football marked at the 19-yard line. Game clock down to 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Third quarter, Fairmont 35, Lewis nothing. Wide out to the near side. 3 to the left, and Zelensky gives it to Carter. Carter hit behind the line of scrimmage and then surges forward and gets a couple of yards. He was hit behind the line, looked as if he might be going down, but probably was one of those who hit him early, a 6'4", 190-pound sophomore. It's still going to be short of the first down by 3 yards, so he only gained a yard on the play, but he was going to be stopped for a loss, and that hasn't happened all night.
Yeah, we got penetration, we just didn't finish.
So now fourth down and 3. This has been Lewis County's problem tonight. They've been able to move the ball, but they haven't been able to get it in the end zone. Carter lines up to the right of his quarterback, and there is the handoff to Carter. Running to the left side, he gets the first down and more, and then Gavin Michael stands him up and throws him down at about the 13-yard line, but it'll be a gain of 5 and a Lewis County first down. First downs for the Minutemen. They have not attempted a pass in the second half. They haven't attempted a pass since Damani Johnson returned 165 yards for a touchdown. Game clock down to 1:30. It's turning. Play clock at 12 as the Minutemen get to the line of scrimmage. And here we go now. First down 10 at the 13-yard line. And here is Carter. Carter getting the handoff wide to the left side, and he takes it down close to the 5-yard line. And he'll be short of the first down at the 7. So it's going to be Lewis County's football. Second down, football marked at the 7-yard line. Second down play coming up, 40 seconds on the clock. Quarterback up under center. Zelensky hands it to Carter. Carter is a line of scrimmage, and there's no gain on the play. And it's going to bring up a third down. Third down for the Minutemen now. Third down and 4. Now the Minutemen will let time run out, and that will be the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters from Lewis County High School, the score, Fairmont Senior 35, Lewis nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Ready for the fourth quarter. Lewis County with the football now, and it's going to be third down for the Minutemen. Football marked inside the 5-yard line. And there's a fumble on the snap, and Lewis County has recovered. But a loss of yardage back to about the 8-yard line, and it's going to bring up a fourth down and about 5. Zelensky comes to the sidelines to have a conversation with his coach, but it has to be brief. And the Minutemen, fourth down, 5 yards to go. Zelensky up under center, and Zelensky hands it off. Wide to the near side is Akert. Akert is stopped and brought down inside the 10-yard line. Short of the first down, the Polar Bears will take over.
Nice play by Gavin Michael.
Hello. Fairmont Senior with the football now in its own territory. 10:50 on the clock. And it is a running clock now as we're in the fourth quarter. And Whitehair out of the shotgun. Whitehair back to pass, has time, lofts one downfield for Dinger. Beautiful catch at the 35, and he takes it to the 40-yard line. It's a Polar Bear first down. Cannon Dinger, a beautiful catch. Brought it down to the 40, and the Polar Bears get a first down on that pass play.
Wow, beautiful catch. He stretched out, caught it with his hand. Nice job.
36-yard pass play to Cannon Dinger. And the Polar Bears now with another. Johnson getting the handoff out of the 45 and up close to the 50-yard line and then run out of bounds. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard, maybe two. Let's see where they mark him down. Call it a gain of 9. And it's going to bring up a second down and 1 for the Polar Bears. We're in the fourth quarter. Fairmont leads 35-0, and we have a running clock. That means out-of-bounds plays, incomplete passes do not stop the clock. Two receivers to the left side. Devon Jones wide out to the right. Chris Wilson in the backfield for the first time for the Polar Bears. Devon Jones goes in motion. He gets the pass on a touch pass, running wide to the left. He's at the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. He's down to the 15-yard line, and he's going to be stopped just inside the 15. Devon Jones, 36-yard pass play, but it was just that little touch pass as he was sweeping from right to left, took it and raced down the sidelines. And the Polar Bears get a first down and have the ball deep in Lewis territory.
Flag on the play.
Now there's a flag way back on the other side of the field on the sidelines. But the official signal first down and then signal personal foul the Polar Bears.
Against Fairmont Senior.
So that's going to subtract 15 yards from that run. He took it down to the 13-yard line. The penalty occurred after the play, so he'll still get credit for that pass catch. But then you're going to assess a 15-yard penalty on top of that. And so now it's going to be first down Polar Bears, and the ball comes back to the 27-yard line. First and 10 Polar Bears, clock down to 7:42. Bears moving from left to right with a 35-0 lead. Now into the game, Tanner Woodman at quarterback. Option, pitches it back to Boda. Boda takes it down to the 30. He's to the 25 and down close to the 20-yard line. Taryn Boda carrying the ball for the Polar Bears. Polar Bear quarterback in the game now is Tanner Woodman. He's a freshman, 5'10", 145. If the name sounds familiar, he's the son of the head football coach at Fairmont State. Second down and 4, a 6-yard gain for Boda. Game clock down to 6:45. And this time it's Chris Wilson getting the handoff wide to the left. And Wilson wrapped up and brought down right at about the first down marker, and a flag is thrown on the tackle.
Yeah, a lot of the young offensive linemen in right now want to see what they can do, and something to build on here at the end of this game.
Face mask, personal foul called against Lewis County. So it'll be half the distance to the goal line. That play took it down to the 18. It was a 4-yard gain for Wilson. And the penalty will give the Polar Bears a first down. Football marked at about the 9-yard line. Fairmont 35, Lewis nothing. Next week, it's a Thursday night game at home against Robert Seabird. Woodman brings his team out. Wilson behind him. And Wilson gets the handoff up the middle, and Wilson will take the ball into the end zone. Hits a Polar Bear touchdown. Chris Wilson scores his first ever football varsity touchdown. And the Polar Bears lead it now 41-0.
Well executed by that entire offensive line.
So Chris Wilson, who's played basketball for the Polar Bears, but hadn't tried football, and he is built like a football player. I always thought that watching him play basketball because his size, he's 5'7", 186. Now the Polar Bears are ready to kick the extra point. Woodman is going to do the holding this time for Peschel. Peschel's been perfect on his extra points so far tonight, but he has a new holder. Let's see how that goes. Ball on the tee. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So there's timeout on the field with 5:41 to go, fourth quarter from Lewis County. The score, the Fairmont Polar Bears 42, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. The touchdown run by Chris Wilson, his first ever. He took it in for the Polar Bears from 9 yards out. And Fairmont now leads it 42-0. Pescia will be kicking off. Tees the ball up in the center of the field. This will be his first kickoff. End over end kick, nice one, and it's taken at the 13-yard line. Out over the 20, the 25, the 30, and up to about the 33-yard line. Owen Akerd on the kickoff return. And Lewis County gets the football now with 5:25 to go, trailing 42-0, and we are in a running clock here at Lewis County High School. Fairmont led 28-0 at halftime. Tacked on a TD in the third quarter on a Dylan Hours run, and then one here in the fourth quarter on a 9-yard run by Chris Wilson. First down and 10 for the Minutemen now. There's a deep handoff and a big defensive play. And the Polar Bears come up with a big stop.
Number 2, Ian Brown, the ball carrier.
Looked like Dakota Nisley in on the tackle for the Polar Bears, and it's going to bring up a second down and 13. Minutemen in the wing T formation. And there's a handoff, and there's nothing off the left side. Not a flag thrown on the play. J.P. Alkire was the ball carrier. Personal foul called against the Polar Bears. Front line for the Polar Bears. Caden McDowell in there. Riley Green also along the front line for Fairmont Senior. 15-yard penalty gives Lewis a first down. David Watson in the game. And also Bryce Swan, or Justice Smith rather. So first down by penalty. And Lewis goes first and 10 from the 47. Game clock down to 3:07, and Fairmont leading at 42-0. And there is the handoff on a sweep to the left, and with the tackle for the Polar Bears was Smith. And carrying the ball was Aiden Anderegg, a freshman, 5'4", 125 pounds. A 1-yard gain. Second down and 9. Down to 2:35. Checking into the game for Fairmont now is Levi McDougall. Quarterback under center. Deep handoff ball comes wide to Ian Brown, and Brown is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by Nicely again. Nice job.
So now it's going to be third down and about 14 yards to go. Game clock down to about 1:50. This running clock shortens the fourth quarter. Third and long, 3rd and 14 for the Minutemen. Ball back at their 42 on a quarterback keeper, and a beautiful defensive play made by the Polar Bears, Rudy Carrillo. Stop back at the 37-yard line. So another loss on the play. And now it's going to be fourth down and about 20. Fairmont Senior leading 42-0. The Polar Bears will play again next Thursday night at East West Stadium, and the matchup will be against RCB. We'll be on the air beginning at 6:40. We have the big Parmar tailgate show at 6 o'clock. And now we have a timeout called by the Minutemen. Just 51 seconds to go in the game. Timeout with the score. Fairmont Senior 42, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM. Inside a minute left in this game here in Weston. The Polar Bears with a big lead. It's 42-0. Lewis County calling a timeout. It's fourth down and about 20 yards to go. And the Minutemen will run one more play. They have their quarterback up under center. Send Brown in motion, and they give Brown the football, and he squirms free and takes the football up close to the 40-yard line. He's going to get 2 or 3 yards, and that will be a change of possession, which results in a stoppage of the clock. And the Polar Bears have the ball. First down and 10 with 33 seconds to go. The ball at the Lewis County 40-yard line. The last time Fairmont had the ball, its backup quarterback, Tanner Woodman, was in the game, and he handed the ball off to Chris Wilson, who ran it in from 8 yards out. Clock will start to turn, but the Polar Bears will have to run a play as the game clock is about 7 seconds behind the play clock. Woodman is in the pistol formation, and he has Wilson behind him. He takes the snap and takes the knee at the 45. And the game clock has run out. And it's a final. From Lewis County High School, the Fairmont Senior Polar Bears start the season off with a shutout win. The final tonight. Fairmont Senior 42, Lewis County nothing on 93.1 WFGM.